Black the Fall is an atmospheric 2D platformer in the same vein as last year's hit indie game Inside. After decades of communism has brought the world into turmoil, an old mechanic looks to stand up for his beliefs and escape from the oppressive grasp the regime has on him. Using hidden passages, sharp reflexes, deception and an unlikely robot ally, you must move through the industrious 2D platforming levels to gain your freedom. Black the Fall is coming to PS4 and Xbox One on the 11th of July. Defenders of Ekron is a shoot-'em-up that looks to combine the elements of exploration and narrative to bring players a fresh gaming experience. You play through this adventure as Enos, a young cadet who has trained his entire life to pilot an advanced mech called an Anakim. But something is seriously wrong with Enos' Anakim, and while in the thick of a civil war, his advanced warfare mech loses all of its power. With Enos now powerless to defend his nation, he must do all he can to survive, which may lead to him uncovering some secrets around the Republic of Ekron. Defenders of Ekron is coming to PS4 on the 11th of July.
I am taking that case.
We just got paid for a case yesterday.
Well, yeah. I spent it. Some of it. Most of it.
Echoes of the Fae, The Fox Trial is a visual novel that mixes fantasy with pulp detective fiction. You play as Sophia Rykov, a private investigator who's been hired to find a missing person lesson, and it is this lesson who has connections to human resistance. A key element to your investigation is building relationships with the right people, and with over 100 choice points throughout the story, this is a gameplay element that you are in complete control of. Echoes of the Fae, The Fox Trial comes to PS4 on the 11th of July.
At least while you continue your futile search for Fulgrim.
Wait a minute. Are you breaking up with me?
Leap of Fate is a brutally fast-paced isometric action game that throws you into the world of a darkened New York City. You can choose to play as one of 4 techno-mages, all of whom have been hiding in the shadows but now seek to take on the Crucible of Fate, a testing ground that will pit you against your own worst nightmares. You must utilise your lightning-fast shadow walk and powerful magical attacks to defeat hordes of demonic enemies and uncover the truth behind your true fate. Leap of Fate is coming to PS4 on the 11th of July. Serial Cleaner is a room clear inspired action game, similar to titles like Hotline Miami and Mr. Shifty. The key difference here is that you are cleaning up the crime scenes and not creating them. Playing as Bobby, you will need to take on contracts from various members of the criminal underworld, helping to get rid of evidence, discard of bodies and clean up bloody mess, all in a 70s style setting. Serial Cleaner is coming to PS4 on the 11th of July and Xbox One on the 14th of July.
So you got the dough you call the Serial Cleaner.
Crypticle is a twin-stick shooter inspired by iconic games such as Smash TV and Gauntlet. After a mysterious force has abducted the princess of Kryptonia, the king's washed-up knights must dust off their armour and set forth on a rescue mission. The gameplay is relentless, the difficulty is up there with ghosts and goblins, and the art style is that of an 80s arcade classic. Crypticle is coming to Xbox One on the 12th of July. Mambo is a multiplayer focus game that only requires the use of one button. Playing as a coloured ball, you must use your attack to try and knock your opponents off the screen. The joy of the Mambo's gameplay is just how easy it is to pick up and play. Simply use a D-pad to control your character and use one button to attack. Mambo is coming to Nintendo Switch on the 13th of July and PlayStation 4 later this year. Death Squared is a fun but challenging puzzle game that may require you to control two boxes at once. As a single player game, you'll control a cube with each analog stick, which creates some tricky and thought-provoking situations. However, it's the multiplayer where Death Squared really shines, often requiring real intricate teamwork to succeed. Death Square originally released on PlayStation earlier this year. To see our full review, click on the link now. But with the multiplayer elements of Death Squared offering the most enjoyment, then maybe it's found a new home when it comes to Nintendo Switch on the 13th of July.
Sweet!
Rocket Fist is best seen as dodgeball with robots. This arena-based game pits you against your frenemies in all-out robot knockout fun. The aim is simple, propel your fist at your opponent. However, your fist is no boomerang, so after you hurl your fist at an opponent, you're at your weakest until you pick that fist back up, just like the game Dodgeball. With quick fire rounds and easy to pick up gameplay, Rocket Fist looks to be another great multiplayer coming to Switch on the 13th of July. Rogue Stormers is a frantic run-and-gun game with a striking art style. Set in the medieval town of Ravendale, your quest sees you lead a group of eccentric knights against hordes of raging, bloodthirsty monsters. Rogue Stormers features both local and online co-op, so if you don't fancy restoring Ravendale to its former glory alone, then why not invite a friend? Rogue Stormers is available now on PS4 and is coming to Xbox One on the 14th of July. The final indie game hitting consoles this week is DeadCore. After a brutal storm sends you into an endless fall, you find yourself at the bottom of what looks like a never-ending tower. The goal of DeadCore is to climb to the top of this tower, which will not be easy. Every stage of this tower is fully protected with a mysterious security system, a system that requires intricate platforming and speedrunning elements to overcome. To take the speedrunning challenge one step further, then why not challenge your friends to see who can rack up the highest score in the speedrun leaderboard mode. DeadCore is coming to PS4 and Xbox One on the 14th of July. That wraps up another week of indie games coming to your consoles. Every console is getting a bit of love this week, and it's great to see more brilliant multiplayer games making their way to Switch. If you're looking forward to playing any of the mentioned games, then let us know in the comments below. To keep up to date with what indie games are hitting your consoles, be sure to subscribe and check out indie-credible.com.